Hi, and lovely to see you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I think I'm supposed to say welcome. I've been doing this 3 weeks now, and I'm still not used to the whole setup. Before I actually started recording this, I spent about an hour faffing. Should I use this? Should I use that? But anyway, I just thought I'd let you know that when you guys watch YouTube videos and it's all seamless, respect to those people. And if you're someone thinking of starting a YouTube channel or doing whatever, well, it's not necessarily even to do with video, then stick with it, even if it's difficult, because I'm sharing this so that you don't feel like, oh my gosh, if I'm finding it so difficult, then I must be rubbish at it. No, even the people that make it look easy, there was a time when they were faffing like I am faffing now. So this video, the reason I'm doing this video is because throughout this week, I met three different ladies who were 50 and over, who wanted, they were looking for what to do with themselves. They just knew that, they weren't being the best they could be. They weren't fully using their skills. They weren't putting themselves forward. And I'm not 50. But I have worked with women who are. I've walked alongside them from this exact point where people are like, oh, I just don't know what to do, to actually saying, well, actually, what's stopping you? And I've broken it down into steps for them. And sometimes I meet some resistance where they go, oh, no, 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 no. And I'm going to talk about that. And after a while, sometimes it's a few days, they call me back. And sometimes it is months, if I'm honest. The longest one was about 7-8 months. And then she phoned back and she went, Cynthia, I just decided, you know what, I'm not getting any younger. And I took those steps and have a look at my website and I'm doing it. Right? Okay. So, and this, this is not a plug. I'm not selling you anything. There's no subscription, nothing. This is just because I am actually excited about women doing business, about anybody doing business, because I know that, whoever you see, whoever you come across today, whatever level they are, even if it's right down there, it can all change in a very, very short space of time. If they start to take steps towards pursuing what they're meant to do, that's what happened to me. So I genuinely look at every single person I meet as, some incredible prodigy just waiting to happen, right? And if I can encourage in any way, then I generally do. Anyway, back to these three ladies that I met. I came across at different points. Some of them are people I know. Well, one of them is someone I know quite well, and she just started talking about, oh, I feel like I should be doing stuff. Another one is a lady that came to have a meeting with me in my office, and she came in, and, first of all, I was just blown away. I said to her, I was like, gosh, your eyes are stunning. You're so pretty. And she was really taken aback. You could tell she wasn't used to hearing that. But I just believe we should encourage each other. So I tend to tell people if they're wearing something I like, or if they're pretty, or if their hair's nice. And then she, just like that, she started talking about how, she admires what I've done and she wished she had done more. She just turned 50 and she's wondering, and all these things. And then another lady is a lady who had always walked in her husband's shadow. And she's getting to that point now where she's like, well, I really, really feel I should be doing stuff. I've got two daughters and a son, and I want my daughters to look at me and be motivated and inspired to do stuff. So those are the three people that I talked to this week alone, outside of people that I've been motivating in the last few years. So what I realized as I thought about it was actually is a very, very common theme. And I'm going to break down the theme quickly, and then I'm also going to tell you why often they haven't done it yet, why they can't shift the thought that they should be doing it, and a very easy step to take that will enable you to start. Okay, so the theme is across the board. Is these are people who have given their lives to supporting someone else, being someone else's wife, being someone else's mother, supporting even their parents, and in a way that's kept them busy, busy enough. They often say that the enemy of great is good. So they've been doing good things. They've been supporting other people. They've been raising children. They've been supporting their parents. They've been doing all those things. But actually they knew all along, deep down, that they had their own things they wanted to do, right? But I suppose if you're busy enough helping someone else, then you can always put that aside. But then when you get to the age, late 40s, 50s, which is, I guess people say, is midlife crisis age, where, the archetypal thing is to go and get a sports car, get a very young girlfriend or whatever. Most healthy, sane women don't go and do those things. But what they actually begin to do is take stock and go like, well, when is it going to be my turn? Am I really being a good steward of the skills and talents that I have? And that is natural. But that also begins to lead to discontent, and it also begins to break down the confidence. And I think really, if you have that nagging feeling you should be doing something, that feeling's not going to go away. Think about it. When will it go away? Is it like you're going to wake up next year and then that feeling would have gone away? You're like, phew, thank God I didn't do anything about it. No, it's not. If you have a nagging feeling, it is your deep down subconscious, your spirit telling you you're made for more, you should be doing more. And I'm finding that as people clock that big 5-0, they're beginning to go, I really want to push it. And this may even be happening for people who are 40, who are 30. This is not, it's not like you hit 50 and that is the only time you can feel it. No, I've walked with women alongside to set up their businesses who are much, much younger, who had that burning desire. But I've just noticed, given this week, that it seems to suddenly really, really happen around this age mark. And in truth, why haven't they done it yet? When I think of all the other ladies that I've met who are in this age group who speak to me and they're very open, plus the recent ones, it is because A, they've been busy, but also B, I often find that for some of these women, in fact for a lot of these women, negative things were said to them when they were younger. Right? And you say, negative things are said to people who are also young as well. Yes, but I think there was a lot less awareness of the impact and the damage that negative words do, 40, 30, 20 years ago. You've got to admit that these days, if you were to scream, you idiot, at a child now, people will look at you. And a lot of people will be disgusted because they know that it's not just the verbal assault on that child, it is the damage to that child emotionally. But I don't think back then people were as aware. So a lot of things were said and were taken as, those are just words. But we didn't just suddenly become emotionally conscious of the damage of these words as the recipients of the words. Now, these have been doing damage a long time ago. It's just that now people are becoming less ignorant about it. So I'll give you an example. One of the ladies the one that came to my office, when I told her, gosh, your eyes are so pretty. She had these like almost transparent eyes, stunning. Anyway, she said, she flinched back. And she goes, are they? And I said, yes, they are. And she goes, I said, you're stunning. And, let's carry on. I just felt I should say that, because you didn't seem to believe me. And she said, it's taken me a long time to accept my looks. I said, why is that? She goes, because all through my life growing up, I was always called the big girl. Right? She's a curvy lady, And I thought to myself, and she said her name, I'm just going to use the word Jane. She said, all my life, even my family call me Big Jane. And I thought, gosh, to put that prefix before someone's name, you've really narrowed a person down. And then that's all she sees about herself, And she was saying she knows her family loves love. Oh gosh, I don't know. English is not my first language. She knows that her family cares about her, but still, the fact that they say it to her, and then when she goes out and other people say it in a less loving way, other people call her big or fat or whatever, then that just reinforces that that's all she is. So already there's a confidence issue there. And then you add on to that, failed relationships or failed boyfriends or whatever, all of that starts to add up. So confidence is low for a lot of people from childhood wounds. And then you also get the people who, as I said earlier, they've been helping other people do it, and not in a bad way, not even in situations where they've been manipulated or whatever into just using their skills to build up a manipulator. No, no, no. Even in healthy situations, they have been hiding their skills behind helping someone else. Now, when you do that, if you're always wingman, right? If you're always someone else's wingman, you are never going to feel comfortable to immediately step into being the main character without a shift in attitude. Okay, so one of the ladies had helped her mother's business, poured in everything, done all the advertising, done all the marketing, did even the actual helping, with clients and stuff. But it was her mother's name in front of the business, and she was very comfortable with that. But clearly, well, she thought she was very comfortable with that, but clearly she wasn't, because she's beginning to say, when is it going to be my turn? But maybe it's not supposed to be my turn. In fact, one of the things she said to me was, maybe I'm just not supposed to do it, right? And I said, why? She goes, yeah, maybe I'm just better helping other people. I said, I don't think so. If that was the case, then you wouldn't have this night. You wouldn't be bringing this up now. And I get it. As females, sometimes we hide behind other people. Okay, when I was running my business originally as Cakes by Cynthia, and then it was time to get a shop, could I put Cakes by Cynthia in front of a shop? No, because I was just like, I don't know if I want Cynthia, the name of the shop. Let me change the name to something else. So I did. Okay. Women are just not that. Obviously I'm generalizing here, and the reason why you generalize is because it's, more often true than not. Men tend to be more, my name here and like that, whereas women are more tentative. And I'm not saying it's good or bad, but if it gets to the point where you're starting to feel you want to do more with yourself, then you are going to have to step out from the shadows. And what happens if you don't do it? Well, if you don't do it, all that's going to change is you're going to wake up next year or 5 years time or 10 years time, and you're going to be a year older or 5 years older or 10 years older with the same regrets, because people don't speak out on a whim. People speak out because it's been sort of cruising along at the back of their mind for a while. And if it's been doing that, it's not going to go away. This is not a one flash in the pan sort of imagination. So that is why you've got to pursue it. If you don't do it, you will only be older and you'll only wish you'd done it before. That's the truth. And sometimes people are scared. What if I start and, my ex sees it and he laughs at me? That was a particular lady's big concern. And I get that. If someone has repeatedly told you you're stupid, not good enough, you're afraid of failing because you don't want to validate that person's words towards you. Quite frankly, the truth is, if you don't do it, then you have allowed that person to rob you of your chances, of your future, of your potential. And some people think, oh, well, what if I do it and it fails? Well, then you've tried. Be a friend to yourself. If your friend tried something and it didn't work out, what would you say to them? You say, I'm proud of you for trying. That's what good friends say. So that's what you should say to yourself. But I promise you this, even if you try it and your original idea doesn't work out, invariably something else will come along, a spin-off of that will work out. That almost always happens, but you will never know what that other thing is unless you do your original idea. So you would just never know what your idea could be, or what the spin-off could be if you don't start your, whatever it is you have in mind to do. And many people don't actually know this, but originally, shortly after getting married, the first time I trained and qualified as a wedding planner, right? But halfway through my course, I realized, gosh, this seems like quite a lot of hard work, and a lot of kowtowing to a bride's every whim. I don't know if I want to do this. But I was baking throughout all that time. So that was when the seeds began to be planted for wedding cakes. But if I'd never started, my wedding planning course, if I'd never started doing research, I probably would not know anything about the wedding industry. And yes, whilst I'm not a wedding planner now, I'm not a practicing one, I've got the qualification. All those things actually help me as a cake maker, right? I work with wedding planners who love it when I turn up, because I would turn up to do a cake and I would understand what is going on, because I can see all the different bits that they still need to complete. And if I've got time on my hands, I'll help them. Which of course means that they're more likely to book me in future, because they know that I'm not just going to turn up, do the cake and walk away. I'll help if I can. So start with whatever your idea is. Pursue that. And just be receptive and open, because other things will come along that you will realize, oh, this is more my groove. But if you don't start, honey, you will never know. Okay. So, what is my advice? Having said all of that, it's really, really simple. If your idea is to go back to work, maybe you had a successful career. I will talk about if your idea is to go back to work in a traditional sense, working in an office, or whether it's actually to do something for yourself. I'm going to talk about both of those. They're very, very simple steps. But just because they're simple, sometimes the simpler the step, the more people distrust it. And I don't know why. Okay, I don't know why. I've worked, now my count of women that I've helped launch or start or grow things, excluding the 44 girls aged 16 to 19 that I've worked with, excluding those, my count of adult grown women that I've helped launch businesses or whatever, taking their business far, whatever you want to call it, in the last 3 years is 13. Okay, and it's always a simple step, and I'm just sharing that with you. So you can look at it and go, that's too simple, I don't believe it. Up to you, but whatever point you decide to do it, come back and let me know that it worked, because it will. Okay, so if your thing is to go back to work and you've been at home, maybe you've taken a break for children or whatever, that's tough. If is tough in the sense of, gosh, you're full of all these ooh, will I fit in, or how am I going to, things have moved on, behind me, or whilst I've been gone, or whatever it is. How do I restart? For that one, it's very, very simple, right? Take a job in that field or any associated field. Forget the salary, forget any of the, making it perfect. Take another job in that field. A lot of women get hung up about, is it going to be the right salary? Is it going to be this? Is it going to be that? I was earning 70, 80,000 before, and I'm not seeing any jobs at that level that I can apply for, but there's a job at 20,000. Take the 20,000 job. Because if you were earning 70, 80,000 12 years ago, yes, maybe you can wait and apply for another job at 90,000, 80,000, whatever it is. But it might take you 15 years to be offered a job at that level. At which point you're now 12 years out of work plus another 15 years. Or you could find a job that you could do with your eyes closed at 20,000 or less, doesn't matter, and take it. Because it's not a salary drop. Because in actual fact, right now you're earning 0. So it's a huge salary drop for you right now. You have to, in a way, put aside where you were 10, 20 years ago before you took a break for your children. Put that aside for now. okay, and take another job, because this job is your getting your feet wet again job. This job is your entry level, just to get readjusted, reacclimatized to working with people, to the, to the crack, to all of that. And then once you're in that job, I promise you, within a few months, especially the level you're operating on before, within a few months, you will begin to notice openings. It's always easier to change lane when you're on the road. It's very hard to change lane if you're still sat in your driveway, right? If you are parked on your driveway and you want to go to that, fastest lane, 70, 80 miles, okay, 70 miles an hour. I don't drive at 80 miles an hour, of course. 70 miles an hour, because that's where you were before you stepped off to have kids. Trust me, it will take you much longer to find someone who's willing to just pluck your car from your driveway of not working and point it back into the 70 miles an hour lane. Whereas if you inch your car, i.e. you, out of the driveway and start at 20 miles an hour, then you change lane, because you can see where the gaps are, okay? You can change lane to 30 miles an hour, and you begin to signal, you begin to put feelers out for your work. Put feelers out, say, I'm interested, by the way. That's you signaling. And soon a gap will be made in the 40 mile an hour road, and you change. And then when you're now getting up to speed, you will find a gap. Provided you're signaling, you will find a gap in that 70 mile an hour road. And that whole thing can happen from 20 miles an hour to 70. It can happen in as short as 18 months. Or if not shorter. But if you stay parked on your driveway, waiting for an opening at 70 miles an hour, because that's where you were, you could be parked a very long time. I think you're just stalling. Okay, because also you don't want to go necessarily from, not having worked for 12 years to going straight into the fast lane, because then it's too much of a shock for you. It will be exhausting. It usually takes some time to find alternative people to do all those things you were home doing. So be nice to yourself. Take another job. It's not a step down. This is just you being wise, learning all the new things that have changed whilst you've been gone. Okay? So that's my advice, and that works. You are more likely to be inundated with offers if you start putting in your CV for jobs you are overqualified for, which will be, yes, lower salary than you're used to however many years ago. But for that company, they'll offer it to you because they know they're getting a bargain, and then you can move along. And then to my ladies, the ones who have the idea, they've got a business idea, they want to do something for themselves from scratch. Right? The usual challenge sometimes with this is, I don't know what to do. And that's either because they literally don't know which one they should be doing, or they literally don't know which idea to do, or they have too many ideas. Okay? If you don't know what it is you should be doing, a very, very simple way to figure out what it is think of the last 10 people that asked you for a favor. Or in the last year, people that asked you for a favor. What did they ask you for? What did they ask you to do? That's your business idea. Even if they asked you to watch a kid, to bake a cake, to help them do some sewing, help them do their makeup, that's your business idea. It is as simple as that. Because someone somewhere is paying for those things. Okay? And if people are already asking you for it, it must mean that you're good at it. So that's one. Or sometimes people have too many things they're good at. And this is a very real thing. If you're creative, typically you're very good at many things. Again, whichever, and it's not a bad thing, but it can lead to option paralysis, where you're like, oh my gosh, I'm good at sewing, I'm good at making cakes, I'm good at makeup, I'm good at this, I'm good at that, I'm good at catering. Which one do I do? That's not a bad thing. It's not a curse. The one you should do is the one that you're most comfortable with, and or the one that most people ask you for. Okay? I don't believe that you should be a one-trick pony. No. Because in actual fact, when you look at trees have many branches. Okay? But what you must do is identify which one is the strongest one. Start with that one. It doesn't mean that you're going to forfeit the other one. If you start with your strongest branch, that branch will naturally feed all the other branches around it. If you notice, I think it's the Jewish candle. There is a Jewish candle. It's got 7. It's got one main branch and then 6 on either side. You only need to put oil in the main one, and the other ones get fed. And I'm one of those people. I'm very good at lots of things. And there was a time that I wanted to pursue everything at once, and it just led to very diluted effort. And in the end, I came back to cakes. Concentrated on cakes, because I was trying to pursue TV, I was trying to pursue this, I was trying to pursue that. It didn't work. None of it worked. But I came back to cakes, concentrated on cakes. And then soon, people in TV who were looking for cake makers found me. Every TV role I've ever done, they've come looking for me. Every TV role. It's not been like one that I've pursued. What is that? Is the main talent drawing all the other things I want to do. Okay, I'm good at, designing hats and things like that. But I didn't go to set up a hat shop. But when I got given an MBE, I was trying to find a hat I liked. I couldn't find any. I decided, you know what, I'm going to make myself a hat. And I made myself a hat. And then soon someone else saw it and I was like, I like that hat. Where'd you get it from? I said, I made it. Oh, can you make me one? Right? Why was I making myself a hat? To go and receive an award that was awarded to me because of partly my cakes. So your main talent will draw in opportunities for the other talents. Just concentrate on that one, no matter how tempting it is. And I know it's very, very tempting. I know it's very tempting. Right. So having said all that, how do you actually get started? How do you get your first client? Now, this is my top tip. Never fails for this. So if you're willing to do this, you will come back to me in 2 months' time and tell me you have your first clients. All right? So it's very difficult to work out how to get your first client. If, you think, some people go, oh, I'm going to go and create a website. Nothing wrong with that at all, but it will waste a lot of time. It's delay tactic. Some people say, I'm going to take out an advert. I don't think you should do that. Especially for women. I must say I've not done this with men, this particular tip. So I don't know. I'm sorry if you're a guy watching till now. Keep watching, but you might need to be creative about how you apply this one. For women, if your thing that you plan to set up is something you've been doing before, then all those people that you've done it for free for, next time, make sure that you contact the ones that you've done it for free for and ask them for some feedback. All their thank you texts and WhatsApps and all that stuff, save that in a folder somewhere. If they've not, if you know very rude people who haven't said thank you to you, you should just message them, say, the thing I did for you the other time, how was it? When they go, oh, well, thank you so much, it was lovely, save that. That is part of your feedback. Then make a postcard. You can get this printed for very, very cheap. You don't need many, 20. Select a few of those feedbacks and add to the back of it, the back of your postcard, the front of it, your name, whatever service it is, your number, your email, done. Right? Okay. And your Facebook or Instagram page. If you don't have one of those, it's very easy. Just upload the photos of what you've done. All right. If it's, something creative, upload the photos of the finished thing, and then upload a photo of the feedback of the thank you that you received. If it's something that's not very creative, I don't know, for example, like cleaning. Not that that's not creative, forgive me, I didn't mean that. But if it's something that people can't look at and go like, wow, I can see what happened here. If it's something that's not obvious, then put in photos of before and after. For example, if it's someone that mows lawns, put in before photo of the lawn, pre-mowing, after. Okay? So that's what goes on your social media, along with your name, your photo, your number, and your email. Now, those postcards that you made, what you can do with them, if you really, really want to kickstart yourself and get clients very quickly, join a Women in Business network meeting. Okay, find one around you. They're usually like £10 to attend or so, and that £10 pays for your teas and coffees and whatever. And go along with that. The reason why those are good is because they are a non-threatening environment where everybody going along there has the same intention as you, in the sense that they want to promote their own business, but you're not competing with them because all those network meetings have maximum numbers for each category. So you're not, if you were trying to start as a an interior decorator, you're not going to go there and meet 5 interior decorators. You will probably be the only interior decorator in that meeting. Then there'll be an accountant. Then there'll be another woman who's, a solicitor. And there's this, and you are all basically agreeing to support each other. So that when you, who are the interior decorator, when you need your accounts done, before you go searching elsewhere, you will text the lady in your group and say, I need my accounts done. She will likely do it for you at a lower price because she is also looking for clients and she has pledged to support. So these groups are really, really valuable. I went along to a few of them and that helped build, my business. And then over time, their friends will ask them for, interior decorators, etc. And that's how it goes. So that's a good way. If you're very new to an area, you don't know anybody there, you've not done your service for many people or whatever, or you just even want to boost finding your first clients, go along to one of those. And then put on your WhatsApp status, I'm starting this. If you need someone to do blah, get in touch with me. So between creating your postcard with your recommendations on your social media page, going along to women in business meetings, adding this onto your WhatsApp status, you will get people begin to inquire about this. And then those other people that you've done it for free for, when next they contact you, go, you know what, I'm beginning to charge for this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to charge you half what everyone else in the area charges. If they say no, bye. And if they say yes, you've just gone from earning 0 to earning 50%. It really is as simple as that. So I hope that gives you somewhere to start. And now all of that is the practical steps on how to start. What I've got to talk about really with a couple of sentences is the psychological barrier to starting. Don't procrastinate. Yeah. Anyway, don't delay. Don't delay. If this has resonated in any way with you and you want to do this, run, begin it, do a search now for jobs. If that's the route you're going down, do a search for jobs, work on your CV tonight. If your other route is to try and find something, that you try and set up something for yourself, collate your recommendations and thank yous and reviews today, because delay is a very strange thing. Every single person that's come to me to say, can you help me? Because I've been wanting to do this. They've had these ideas for ages. But why it works, why I'm so effective is because I will keep messaging you. I'll say, can you send me what you've done? Can you show me where you've, the website you've set up or the social media page you've done? Can you send me a picture of your postcard? I will keep on at you. So you need to keep on at yourself. You need to hurry up and don't wait for perfection. Perfection is the thief of progress, because the longer you wait for perfection, you don't know it, but you're just stalling. You don't need to do anything. You don't need an accountancy course. Just go and begin the thing you are good at doing. Just begin it. Start. And please drop me a line. I believe my contact details are on here. If not, it's cynthiastroud.co.uk. You can drop me a line and let me know how you're getting on, because I really, really, really want you to do well. I want you to do your business idea. Why? Because the more women actually do their business idea, the more fulfilled they are, the more of a sisterhood there is, because actually you're not really competing with anyone, and the more we encourage our daughters to also pursue their dreams. Okay? Well, I hope that's been useful. and I wish you a really lovely week ahead. Bye bye.